Thursday, the 25th of December, 25. And of course means, for most of Christendom, today is Christmas. So, Merry Christmas. Um, yeah, of course, if you're Orthodox Christian, Eastern Orthodox Christian, um, Russian Orthodox Christian, etc., Greek Orthodox Christian, you're not celebrating it today. Just for you, it's not for another week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. I think the 7th or 8th of January, if I remember correctly. But in any case, if you are one of the billions of Christians who celebrate Christmas today, Merry Christmas to you, or Happy Christmas, or Joyeux Noël, or Feliz Navidad, any of the things you might say. Chag HaMolad Sameach, that's how we say it in Hebrew. Chag HaMolad is Christmas in Hebrew. And here in the Holy Land, aka Israel, obviously the birthplace of Jesus, it is a special time of year for the Christians who are visiting, and for their friends and allies and supporters who celebrate with them, and even just casual people walking around in different places where Christmas is celebrated. For example, if you walk around Jerusalem today, you will notice a lot of Christmas festivities, as there were last night, and there will be throughout the rest of the day today. And they're not super commercial activities. Unlike how Christmas is celebrated in much of the Western world, here in Israel, Christmas is much more a spiritual thing. You do still have, like a Christmas market in places like Jerusalem and things like that, Nazareth. But it's much more about getting together, being with friends and family, doing Christmas, related activities, and really pretty and special, and they make it look quite beautiful in where they have those events. So, if you're traveling to Israel, if you're here today, I would recommend, if you're in Jerusalem, to check it out, or Nazareth, check it out. If you are coming to Israel in the future, and you are a Christmas celebrant of any kind, I highly recommend visiting Israel this time of year. It's really pretty and very special what they do during the different Christmas celebrations here. On Christmas Eve and on Christmas itself, and even in the run-up to Christmas Eve, you have different activities. And of course, lots of churches that we have here in Israel that you can visit, and Christian sites. Everything from the birthplace of Jesus, the birthplace, the resting place of Mary, the resting place of Jesus. There's all these different, very special places that are very meaningful to Christians here in Israel. I highly recommend it. Hello. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too. Thank you. As a Jew, I don't actually celebrate Christmas, but I certainly cheer on my Christian friends and wish them all a Merry Christmas. Because, when I say I don't celebrate Christmas, I should correct that by saying I have many Christian friends with whom I have celebrated on, Christmas. So you could say that I have participated in Christmas celebrations, but I'm a Jew. I'm not a Christian, but still, I wish you all a Merry Christmas, and thank you for stopping by and saying hi. It says here, since I'm in the Christmas spirit, I will sub. And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. And yes, if you're watching this and you sub and like, I really appreciate it. Help me get the word out about life here in Israel. I obviously sometimes talk about geopolitical stuff. It's not nearly as fun, frankly, as talking about holiday stuff like this. I wish that every day was a holiday like this, and I could just talk about happy holiday stuff all day. But, the world we live in is the world we live in. But yeah, I appreciate the sub and the like very much. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you for the Christmas present, if you will. And I hope you have a wonderful Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And of course, tomorrow is Boxing Day. So, for people who celebrate Christmas, tomorrow is the day that you give presents to the postmaster for delivering the gifts on time. I know this is a tradition in many Western countries. If that is a tradition where you live, I hope you remember to reward your mailman or mail person for delivering the gifts to you on time. And remember, they put in a lot of hard work. It's not easy being a mailman, especially around Christmas time. So yeah, hats off to them for that. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Yes, Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you too. I appreciate it very much. I hope everyone's having a joyous and wonderful time. And no, I am not. What do you call it? I do not work as a Santa in malls and things like that. I've been asked that before, but no, I do not. But hey, to those who do, chapeau for the effort you make for the kids and all that stuff. I think it's a wonderful tradition you guys have in that sense, and makes kids happy. So that's good. What else is happening here on this holiday? Well, at the moment, it's really just, at least where I am, up here in the north, relatively calm, despite the loud traffic that I just walked through. It's relatively calm and relatively peaceful. Hopefully, we'll have a relatively peaceful rest of the day, despite all the shenanigans happening in the political sphere. I really hope this will be just a day that people can focus on the meaning of the holiday for themselves and for their, for their loved ones and family and friends, colleagues, etc., people they know, their fellow Christians, etc. We're, in Israel, despite the fact that we're a very small population compared to many countries, we do actually have a Christian community here of about 150,000 or so Christian Israelis. Many of them are Arab Israeli, Arab Christian Israelis. And we actually have the only growing Christian population in the Middle East, if you didn't know that. I wish that there were more Christian populations growing in the Middle East. However, unfortunately, at the moment, there are not. Now, in theory, there are reports that the Christian population in Iran is growing. Technically, Iran is not the Middle East, really, even though I know a lot of people say it is, but Persia is really not in the Middle East. It's much more Central Asia. Here in the Middle East, we are in Western Asia, especially here in Israel. We're at the very western edge of Asia. We're kind of at a land bridge between Africa, Asia, and Europe. And geologically, I mean, tectonic plates and all that stuff. So yeah, we're in Western Asia here, and the rest of the Middle East, going all the way to the eastern edge of Iraq. That is Western Asia, essentially. And yeah, so hopefully we'll have, like I said, a peaceful holiday where people can enjoy the holiday. And like I said, the population of Christians, in theory, is growing, according to many reports, is growing in Iran, because apparently many people have lost the desire to remain being Muslims, and a lot of people are stopping to go to mosques. Apparently, I saw a video of an Ayatollah speaking to a congregation of Muslims and announcing that over 50,000 of the 75,000 or so mosques in Iran had shut down due to lack of attendance, meaning basically people weren't showing up. So 2/3 of the mosques had shut down, which, in a country of 90 million people, if you have 75,000 of those places and 50,000 of them have shut down, that tells you quite a lot about the state of affairs for that particular situation, right? It is very telling that so many people who publicly would say, of course, that they're Muslim, because they don't say that in this, in the Islamic regime of Iran, they might very well face consequences. But privately, many, many, many Muslims have stopped going to mosque regularly, to the point where one of the Ayatollahs, literally announced it in front of a whole congregation of people. You can see that video. In fact, if you look at Goldie's videos, if you know who Goldie is, check out Goldie, the Persian YouTuber. She has quite a lot of great insights. I don't agree with everything that anyone says, but she has a lot of great insights about what's happening in Persia and in Iran, because she's from there originally, although she lives in Canada. And yeah, she put a video out recently where she explained, why Christianity is growing and why there are less and less Muslims in Iran. And it was very fascinating. So Iran is one country where the number of Christians is reportedly increasing. I don't have any verified stats on that. It's kind of hard to get verified stats in a place like Iran. However, we do have a confirmation, again, that 2/3 of the mosques in Iran have been shut down due to lack of attendance. And that's coming from an actual Ayatollah, like not just some random person, but actual authority figure in the Islamic Republic of Iran. Right? So like that's who runs their religion, is the Ayatollahs. So it's a big deal when one of them says that openly and publicly. And yeah, here, like I said, in Israel, we have obviously a small but growing Christian population. And I think that's wonderful, frankly, because the Christians in Israel are generally very peaceful. There have been incidents in the past. There was a time when Christian Arabs in Israel were more supportive of the armed resistance against Israel. And more specifically, there were Christian Arabs in Judea and Samaria, not inside of Israel within the Green Line. There were, Christian Arabs who identify as Palestinians who used to be supportive of the armed resistance, aka terrorism, against Israel. However, since the 1993 Declaration of Principles and the establishment of the Palestinian Authority, and even after that, the Second Intifada, the Christian Arabs saw the futility of armed resistance against Israel. And now, those who wish to oppose Israel politically do so in usually nonviolent ways. Like, it's incredibly rare. I can't actually remember the last time that a Christian Arab living in Judea, Samaria, or Gaza for that matter, or Israel proper, within the Green Line, that's when I say Israel proper, has actually done something to attack the state of Israel, or soldiers, or innocent civilians in Israel, because they pretty much don't do that anymore, since they have seen that that's really just a useless thing. It doesn't get them what they want. So, does that mean they will forever be peaceful from now on? I don't know. I hope so. Generally speaking, like I said, it is incredibly rare when Christians do anything anti-Israel here in Israel. It's also incredibly rare when Jews do something anti-Christian. And when either of these groups do something against the other, they are very quickly condemned by their own people. Like, Jews do not tolerate, generally speaking, the mistreatment of Christians in Israel, which is not okay with us, because we love our Christian brothers and sisters. And, we see ourselves as allies in this world. And the same, I would say, goes for the Christians living here, who see the Jews as their allies. And they see that they are, religiously protected, and they have equal rights under the law here. And tourists are protected also, just like any other tourist. Christian tourists are protected just like any other tourist. And we're very welcoming people here. So, once again, that's the update from Israel, from the Holy Land. I wish all my Christian brothers and sisters around the world a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, and see you. Cheers. Shalom.